The Lakers and Austin Reaves intend to sign a 4-year, $185 million contract extension to return to the franchise with a player option for the final season, which is in 2029-30. His deal will get signed after the Lakers use their cap space if they choose to do so. Here's how Reaves' $185 million contract will look, from $41 million all the way down to $51.2 in that player option year. So Austin Reaves found out about the contract while out golfing, and his girlfriend took a picture of the moment and his reaction. Reaves went from undrafted to two-way player with G League to making Lakers roster to now the highest paid undrafted player in NBA history, and he is having an emotional moment right there. And here's what he shared after his contract extension with Yahoo Sports. It's going to be fun, and like I said, winning a championship is the main goal, and I feel like, you know, with me and Luka, that's a great starting piece to compete. And when we put a roster together that can go compete, I feel like winning a championship will basically solidify everything that I want and everything that the Lakers want. So LeBron not returning next season. Lakers backcourt is set. What does this mean for the duo of Luka and Austin without LeBron, Press?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I feel like at the end of last season, in the regular season, maybe the last month or two, it just became their team, right? And LeBron was the self-admitted third option. But I think those two will be up to the task. I mean, they're just such gifted offensive players. Can't wait to see how the new look looks. New look Lakers look. We don't even know who they're going to sign yet, so a lot more to go.
Yeah, that's the part here that's unclear as to who's going to join them to kind of sign up for this project. But what you do have, and I don't want to say that you take it for granted, but we just know that the skill sets align in that they will create enough good shots to basically carry any NBA-level offense at a high level. So that's a great starting point for a duo. Now, how do you build out around that? What are the things that is needed? Well, I think for the most part, it's the athleticism, it's the defensive intensity, it's the point of attack defense, and just the kind of energy in the bodies and the thrust around what you're getting from that offensive duo. I think that it's certainly possible for the Lakers to do that, but in terms of this immediate transaction cycle, it's not like there are a ton of guys out there on the unrestricted free agency market that you can sign up for and say, yeah, let's have this guy come and be the third wheel next to these two for the next 5 years. But
Austin Reaves was on one of the best contracts in the league and absolutely played above that number that he was receiving. So he deserves this contract. Will he be the player now with the most pressure on him now that that number jumps to above $40 million?
Yeah, I think so. And Austin's a guy, pressure doesn't really affect him. Just kind of rubs it off your shoulders and whatever. And most NBA players are pretty good at handling it. And I think he will indeed keep that scoring average going in this direction.
For me, like, that distaste for losing and that competitive edge is the reason why he's here and the reason why he got paid.
Yeah, I don't worry about pressure with Austin Reaves. Just think about him growing up playing in Arkansas as a kid. He was always the white guy in the team that was targeted. You're not good enough, and then quickly proved that he was. And he's continued to do that at every level. I think he'll do that as a Laker, whatever the contract was going to be. To me, the pressure always goes, or should go, to the best player.
Bottom line, when these two are healthy, you know, the Lakers can outscore just about any team in the league. They definitely, as you alluded to, Mike, let's see how they fill it in, the rest of the roster. Free agency just beginning. I mean, just a lot of things to happen over this next week or two.
The only thing I would add is that, so now that it's very clear, okay, with LeBron out of the picture for the immediate and obviously the long term, okay, Austin Reaves and Luka Doncic, here's what they do. Everybody else that's here, you got to be an attack dog. Like, it's defense, it's energy, it's just everything else, like, that should be very clear as to what, here are the two guys, everybody else has to support around that. If the Lakers are able to bring in, let's say if it were a secondary star, and then in that sense, like Austin, I guess, is the three, but it could be a guy that's more defensive focused, right? And then in that case, that's exactly what you want anyway to pair with the star backcourt duo.
The Lakers are expected to meet and target restricted free agents Jalen Duren, Walker Kessler, Peyton Watson, and unrestricted free agents Luke Kennard, Rui Hachimura, Mitchell Robinson, and Sandro. What do you say? Mamu Kalashvili.
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 It's a lot of syllables.
Mamu.
Good list. Not a great list, but a very, very good list.
The restricted list is pretty darn good.
And then
the unrestricted, I mean, you got our own guy Rui on there. And so listen, Brez, I'll start here. With LeBron not returning, How does this open up for possibilities for the Lakers, money-wise and all that stuff?
Well, you just nailed it. Like, what do they want to do? Do they want to offer a restricted free agent money and have that tied up for at least 48 hours, depending on when you offer it? It's a little bit confusing, but I think the Lakers might buy their time. Then maybe if they do want to offer someone, do it on the 5th of July, and then the other team has on the 7th to decide whether they want to retain this player or not. Do the Lakers want to maybe get a couple of contracts out via restricted free agency if they can fit 2 guys within their cap? That's a possibility too, Mike. I just know, in general, restricted free agents are very difficult for other teams to pry away, and B, the Lakers just haven't done that with many players in the 22 years I've been around this team. It's just not a big part of their focus. Maybe they can pry away like a Jalen Duren or a Walker Kessler, 2 very good centers that I like a lot. Kessler only played 2 weeks last season before he got hurt. But still a really good young shot blocker. I might even like him a little bit better than Jalen Duren, but we didn't see a lot of him at all last season.
Well, it's been 5 years since a restricted free agent actually was allowed to leave their team.
5 years.
There you go.
Yeah,
It
so
just
I mean,
doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen, and I don't see, especially with the pedigree of those players, the organizations obviously like them. It's not difficult for them to just say, oh, that's the most you can get. We already know what that number is. Match it. So I don't see that happening. A sign and trade situation, that's a whole nother deal, right? If the player is super disgruntled, but they can't necessarily control that other than by telling the team they're disgruntled, and then they're going to leave eventually. But again, if they do that offer sheet, it's going to be for like 4 years. So I wouldn't count on that. To me, the key is, Geeter, whatever the deal is, and we saw some players there that are intriguing, it's got to be a good contract that eventually would not be a problem to move. Because at some point, maybe that player that we don't know who it is right now pops up in the way that Anthony Davis did. And then the Lakers, they already had LeBron in tow.
Yep.
And then they had the assets to go out and get Anthony Davis because he wanted to be a Laker. And I think there are going to be a lot of players who would like to come sign up to play with Luka Doncic, with Austin Reaves. That means for a lot of easy buckets and a lot of winning. And I don't know that it happens in this initial cycle, but eventually guys are going to want to come play in the purple and gold.
So what's next for the Lakers, you think, in terms of priorities? You already kind of talked restricted free agents and the risks that are there, but in terms of what you think they're going for first here.
Yeah, I mean, John Drayton obviously created a little news the other day by saying he's back on a very equitable deal for, I think, both sides. He's happy making, his $9 million or so, and the Lakers, it's not a back-breaking contract at all. And Walker Kessler already said I really like him, better shot blocker than the other 2 guys that I was talking about.
I do really like Mitchell Robinson as a player. I think he's a winning player. He has some clear deficiencies, there's no doubt. He's not going to beat somebody off the dribble and create his own shot. He's not the same type of downhill lob threat, despite his size, just in terms of offensive limitations. But amazing rebounder, really good defensive player, can move his feet in the perimeter. And so, you don't have to give anything up to get a guy like that. That adds a certain element as well, where you're not having to give up a future first. You can save those for a different deal. The key, again, remains, though, Chris, you got to keep that contract reasonable, right? So that's not one that you're going to be regretting down the line.
All right, guys, with LeBron leaving the Lakers, here's a look at the Lakers free agents this offseason. Marcus Smart was an essential piece to the Lakers roster last season, and he has declined his $5 million player option to become an unrestricted free agent. DeAndre Ayton is opting into his $8 million player option. What are you guys hearing about Rui?
Man, he's going to be really interesting. First of all, turned himself into one of the best shooters in the NBA, over 40%. Not a lot of volume, that's the only thing. He's not like Steph Curry, taking 10 threes a game. That's not Rui's game. I think it's a coin toss whether he's back or not.
Yeah, so look, there aren't that many teams that have money. So as you mentioned, it would have to be probably like a mid-level exception type thing or for a non-tax paying team. And for me, at that number, I'd just as soon keep him. And if he's willing to, if it's close to that, if he's willing to take a longer-term deal at numbers like that, then great. He's a good player. You can trust him to maintain his level in the postseason. You mentioned it, Brez, not a perfect player, right? Defensively, he's not amazing. He's not the best rebounder, but brings a really good skill set. The one that I worry a little bit more about is that, like, in terms of Marcus Smart, if he doesn't stay, the on-ball defense in the perimeter, that's a lacking area for the Lakers.
You led me right to my next thing. Dan Wojcicki reporting that he could leave in free agency, that the Rockets are going to throw a 3-year deal at him worth $21 million. A lot to say, kind of the heart and soul of this team, especially defensively. Brez, how big of a loss would this be?
Yeah, it's a big loss.
Yeah, Marcus Smart, totally crucial and critical for the Lakers last year, and what he does on the defensive end, and just from kind of an energy standpoint, when you think about the type of players that you need around Luka and Austin, who are doing so much to break down the defense, you have to have that level of effort and tenacity. And if it's not Marcus Smart, who's that player going to be? And ideally, you have more than one of them. And yes, maybe a younger version, but they're going to have to address that. There's no question about it.